In this episode, I finally find a village, built the best house you've ever seen, and most importantly, I spent 100 days digging a hole. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Let's get into it. Remember that hill? No, that mountain that I was planning to carve out from the inside? Well, I want you to forget all about that. I decided I'm just going to delete the mountain itself. Well, not exactly. I'm basically planning to build a giant tunnel going straight down. Yep, my whole plan's a hole. Oh. I started digging on day 77 and realized I was going to need a lot more of inventory, so for the rest of the day I placed tons of chests. Today I tried to kill a zombified pigman that snuck through the portal, but as I was doing so I forgot my dog was not sitting, so I ended up going into the portal to spend the day trying to get him, or her, it? I don't know, okay? I was trying to get the frickin' dog out. Day 179, I just kind of relaxed all day. I harvested my farm and composted for the entire day with no grinding or mining or digging. That's until I realized I had moss. I completely forgot that I had moss. Moss is amazing because if you bone meal it, it will pretty much eat up the ground around it. Then you can just insta-mine it with a hoe. And if you do this a few times, then you won't have to dig through tons of stone. I also found out you can compost moss, so I will basically have an infinite supply of bone meal. So I got to work on day 181, placing, breaking, and bone mealing moss. Wow, this place looks like it was blown up. Working on tunnel. I decided that I would compost all day 185. On day 186, I got back to hoeing that hole. What just came out of my mouth? Day 187, I decided to strip mine for a few days. So day 188 and day 189, I was strip mining all day. I got 19 diamonds by the end of it, so that's around 20 diamonds in an hour. I'll keep that in the mind for the future. Haha, you get it? In the mind? I'm hilarious. Day 190, I decided that my half-carved out hill needs a little more homey feel, so I tried to make it more livable? Well, if you think it's ugly, then you're probably right, but that's okay, cause I like that it's ugly. It gives it, character? Well, I was already halfway through day 191 when I was done with the floor, so I decided to harvest my wheat farm for the rest of the day. Look, I've been trying to hold it off. I've been considering looking for a village because there are just so many things that you can get out of villagers. For example, villager trades, which provide me with many materials. You can also use villagers for iron farms, which will give you tons of iron, and automatic crop farms? Look, every time I look up on Google, the results are always about villager trades. I promise there are lots of other things to do with villagers. So I started looking, and I looked, but I couldn't find one today. It was getting dark, so I had to rush home, but I didn't rush too fast because then I would have missed this beautiful sunset over my base. I can tell that this base is going to look so good when it's done. Anyway, trying to get home, let's just say that was not as fun. I went searching on a boat today, and then by land, and then by boat, and then by land, and then I went to sleep on top of this desert mountain. Well, it's a lot easier to see up here, but I still couldn't see a village. I put my rendered distance and FOV up, but still no village. So I headed for a plains biome because it would probably be the easiest place to find a village, because it doesn't have a forest I have to go through. I was thinking to myself how it would be funny if I actually found a village, because I expected I would be looking for the next 6. Oh, wait, what? I see one! So I rushed on foot, and then on boat, and then I got there and started taking their beds. But that's when I realized that this is their home. I can't just come in here and start taking their beds. This is their entire lives that I'm just ruining for the sake of my own glory. Yes, you can have your beds back, although I'm going to need all your belongings and kids. I wanted to set up some kind of infrastructure in the village. Probably something like a bigger version of the village house, cause why not? I was ready to start building the house on day 196, and then I went mining for the rest of the night. I worked on the house a bit more today. I was getting so close to finishing the house on day 198. I was getting so close to not being able to finish it in time. I really wanted to finish it by day 200. But at the end of the day, I just barely finished it in time to see the sunrise of day 200. Ah, that sunrise is beautiful. I finished the finishing touches on the roof, the bottom, and even added an ugly staircase, but I like it. Oh, I also spent half the day working on this montage. Oh my gosh. The rest of day 201, I was getting one last thing. You've never seen something more... what's the word? Amazing. All day 202, I was trying to get these villagers to live in the big house. I know that I said that I would not take their beds, but I'm just moving them to their forever home. After finally getting them in the house and accidentally hitting a nitwit, they got in their beds. Before I went to bed, I gave them a little bread. Day 203, I didn't really know what to do. My villagers were brooding like crazy. I made the doors so hopefully only I could go through them. Well, I mean, I hope villagers can't use ladders. Then I went to bed. I just did it again. While filling in a creeper explosion, another creeper creeped up behind me. And that was officially the most embarrassing thing I have ever... I decided that it would be a good idea to go back to working on the base, so I decided to leave tomorrow. Day 205, a whole day of me just being stupid. I got killed by a golem 2 times, killed 2 villagers, and wasted so much more time. Oops. So I ended up just staying in the village. I finally left the village on day 206, and on my way back I found a portal. And then I took the crying obsidian block and went to bed. This is where I'm sleeping tonight. I was getting so close to being back at the base. Close enough to see this beautiful view of my base from this mountain. I also went to sleep. I got back home and got ready for digging. Oh, and I also finally made a working automatic composting machine. Yeah, it needs a new name. Okay, let's just start digging this dang tunnel. And that's why I'm not in a hardcore world. I'm going to need a lot more resources, so I started strip mining. I was stripping on day 229, got a few diamonds. I was stripping on day 30. Because of the reliable software that OBS is, I don't have any footage of me mining for the next 5 days, so we are just going to skip to day 236. I started digging again, day 236. I decided to go back to mining the hole because it might actually be faster than digging it with moss. I will also probably dig it in chunks so it's easier to see my progress, and then I broke my legs. I decided to jump in the pit and quit when I got close to the bottom because why not? I will anger myself tomorrow. When I got back to recording, I was fine, although I updated to the version 1.19.4. It's looking great so far. I would show you a cool clip of it, but then I fell off. I realized that I was getting a little poor on day 261. I remembered that there was a big cave near me, so I decided to go dig to it. I also found the biggest copper vein I've ever seen. Although it's not that rare, I found another one nearby. I was caving the big cave on day 262, although it's not as big as I thought. It's mostly just pretty deep. There was so much gold I was still caving and lighting up the cave on day 263. I found this ravine today. Inside was this cave that trailed on for a while, and it eventually took me down to an ancient city. Wow, this was probably the first time I've actually seen an ancient city. It wasn't very far from my base, so I decided to write down the coords and leave for the day. I upgraded my composter again. I'm not obsessed. You dare question my reasoning. I started strip mining in the ancient city, but I ran into a water cave thing. Luckily, something sparked inside me, and I decided to check out if there was anything over here. By this point, it was already day 267, and it continued to bring me to this cave with tons of shulk scattered across the cave. I realized I had found that the ancient city was actually connected to my main cave. This entire time, it was literally right under me, so I decided to check it out. This was my first time experiencing the ancient city firsthand, and it is huge. I even have an idea of how to get it connected to the stairs I already made to the cave base thing. So I decided to go to bed. I know, so exciting! There was a thunderstorm today, so I literally skipped the day. Minecraft is so realistic. I had accidentally pressed pause and didn't realize it until the moment that lots of creepers came up behind me. So here is what I got. The hole is getting so close to being done, but I needed more supplies, so I got ready for tomorrow. I started mining in the ancient city today. And we did it. Oh, there's more over here. That's crazy. Whoa. It just keeps going. Crazy. It's huge. Actually huge. Pretty sure those are the... yeah, those are the things that you don't really want to touch. I was exploring a little more and got a few diamonds, and then I went back to mining the hole. My pickaxe broke today, so I had to use an iron one for the rest of the excavation. I finally finished digging the main hole and started fixing the holes in the walls of the big hole of other holes. What? Well, I fixed the hole, so I guess all I have to do is cue the montage. I woke up today and tried to shoot a creeper, but then another one snuck up on me and almost killed all my animals. Okay, fine, I might have deserved that one. So I started collecting my animals to move them somewhere safe, but then another creeper snuck up behind me again! Now I only have one sheep, and this place is a mess. You guys will have to stay here for now. I was brainstorming all day, trying to figure out what this place was going to look like.